Education is a constant in everyone's life, no matter the age, race, or gender. Life is a trial of continuous learning that adapts to your way of experiencing it, with the most proactive coming out on top. This is why my developing educational philosophy is that students are a product of both their environment at home and their environment in the classroom. Students are constantly at adversity with both their school and out of school lives. This is why, as a teacher, it is of the utmost importance that we foster an environment that can facilitate all students and their continuing battles of education. This opinion is also shared by an important philosopher in our course, Ken Robinson, who said, "The gardener does not make a plant grow. The job of a gardener is to create optimal conditions for growth." No two people have the same optimal conditions, as everyone comes from different walks of life. However, it is the gardener's duty to ensure the correct needs are met for each plant and their respective requirements. If these conditions are not met, the plant will struggle and never reach the potential it deserves. As a teacher, I want to implement a holistic way of learning, which means seeking to develop their physical, emotional, psychological, and spiritual attributes, where each student feels that it isn't just about their growth academically, but also about their growth as human beings. The student is infinitely more important than the subject matter, nil noddings. By using these principles, I hope to better be able to create these optimal conditions for growth that every student needs to experience, not just for school, but for their potential. Teachers cannot control all aspects of their students' environments. Life outside of school plays just as large of a role in a student's education. When asked about the sources of interpersonal support in their lives, adolescents typically name their parents as primary sources of emotional support, instrumental support, and even companionship, which creates unrealistic barriers to a student's education that teachers must try to navigate. Despite being in a classroom environment where multiple students may have problems, unfortunately, not all these inhibitors are the same, and not all of them can be managed equally. Meaning an equitable learning environment is the best possible solution. By not ignoring blatant issues that are affecting some students, you can facilitate a more optimal learning environment for more of your students. Within a learning environment that focuses on equality, pupils that do not fit the syllabus perfectly are put at a systemic disadvantage and are predisposed to hardship due to their home life not being as privileged as some. Aristotle is famously quoted as saying, "The worst form of inequality is to try to make unequal things equal." By following my philosophy as a teacher, I will also be hitting the marks on the APSTs, specifically 1.2, 1.3, and 7.3, which focus on understanding how students learn, students with different linguistic, cultural, religious, and socioeconomic backgrounds, as well as engage with parents and carers. Throughout the course, I've been influenced by many educational philosophers. However, the two I take the most from are Ken Robinson and Paulo Freire. Ken is a well-known English-born philosopher who blew up in the public eye after a TED Talk asking the question, "Do schools kill creativity?" He believes that education should foster creativity in pupils by offering a broad curriculum and encouraging individualism in the learning process. And he also believes that too much of the current education fosters conformity, compliance, and standardization. Freire was a Brazilian philosopher born in the 1920s who believed that education must be centered upon creating critically thinking learners who can act to liberate themselves from suppressive systems. By taking ideas from well-known philosophers such as these two, as well as Nell Noddings, John Dewey, and Gloria Ladson-Billings, I have crafted my educational philosophy that I want to carry into my teaching career. I hope that my classrooms will be ones that embrace diversity, where kids feel eager to learn and not dragged down by the system, where they can be themselves, to hopefully create good people first and good students second. This means a class where everyone feels like they're getting their optimal conditions to grow, no matter their past, present, or future. Speaking